Everybody can hear me? Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us today. You see, the reason why we are conducting this webinar is that over the last couple of weeks, we realized that many students, whatever the subject, whether they're taking mathematics, science, English, Chinese, Tamil, mother tongue, and many of them are my special students. So they asked us what to do for oral. And I thought that we should benefit all students, okay, regardless of where they are, what course they are studying, or even in general, the public, because your PSLE oral is next week. And of course, we believe that we have some things to share with you, and this is going to be a series of crash courses. This is just the first of many. So going forward, especially in the following weeks and leading up to PSLE, we are going to have many of these so-called last-minute crash seminars so as to boost your confidence, boost your skills. So the very first rule in my seminar is very simple. If you got any questions, just type in the chat box. Later, a couple of more teachers will join me because right now they are away for various things, but hopefully 2 or 3 will join me later. As you can see, there's a large group. And today I got to push back my master speakers classes because I thought it's more important to help all of you because the PSLE is oral. So feel free to ask any question at all. No question is too silly. So just a couple of reminders. Whatever, if you have done great for your PSLE prelim, well done, congratulations, keep that up. If you didn't do so well, no problem. What is the most important is the exam next week. Everybody got it? So as you know, your PSLE English exam, 20% of the entire paper this year, it has increased by 20%. You find that tonight I'm speaking a little bit fast because I need to cover a lot of things. But if you are not able to follow, just drop a note there. We will see. Yes, you're not going to have a hard copy. You're going to have a soft copy. Okay, clear? Because I think it's impossible for us to print hard copies for you. So we just disseminate the hard copy, soft copy later, and you get all this whatever things which I'm going to talk about it in soft copy. Cool? Can? So let's talk about a couple of things first. Some of these things I have shown, but I want to talk about a couple of general principles first, okay? General principles first. So can I have a show of hands? I just want to get a sense. There are quite a number of you here today. Right now, there are 400 plus students. Please keep them coming. I just want to get a sense. How many marks do you get for your PSLE reading? So tonight, we're just focusing on reading. Monday, Mavis and the other teachers are going to focus a bit more on reading and a bit more about SBC. And remember, all these, you will get the exam packs, okay? 14, 14, 12, great job. So for those of you who got 13, 14, well done, congratulations. Keep them up. We try to get 15 for the PSLE. Now, the reality is that, can you get full marks for the PSLE? Absolutely. I repeat, absolutely. It is perfectly possible to get full marks. Why? Because it is a national exam. Okay, clear? So I think for after tonight, I think everybody should try to endeavor to get at least 13 or 14. I think it's totally possible. Let's go through a couple of rules first, and later I'm going to share with you a couple of resources. And all these resources are now free. Okay, so take note, sit back, relax, and take note of the lessons. I just want to share a couple of things first. So let me share my slides with you right now. Don't worry for all these things. These are just a series of 8 documents which I'm going to share with everybody at the end of the lesson. So just hang on there. Okay, everybody can see my slides. Swedi, can you see my slides?
Yes, can.
Can, what is it in
we can see the one at the side as well.
Okay, can now?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect, Okay, so cardinal states. When we talk about cardinal, it just means serious, cardinal, or very obvious. And why I put a question mark there is because, yeah, it may not be a sin. It can just be a misconception, but we need to get them right for the PSLE. And whatever I'm sharing you now doesn't just apply for your PSLE. So I just want to repeat, right now I'm sharing you some PSLE skills. But reading, there are many different levels. Reading with eye contact, reading with expression, reading with hand gestures, all these things are not important right now, okay? What is important is the PSLE base, and this is what we're going to talk about tonight. Everybody clear? Let me hold on. I need to see the chat queries, because I need to be able to see the chat queries just in case I miss some of the queries. It's important that I see whatever chat that goes on. Okay, so first speech. Now, the teachers here today will be me. Yes, I'm a teacher at MindStretcher at Master Speaker. Some of you may see me around doing various talks, and going forward, you probably see me on and off for other talks as well, whether it's primary, secondary, and so forth. Mr. Sham will come in later. Mrs. Sham, some of you know her because she's teaching many of the English classes at both the secondary and primary school level. And Venu, okay, Venu is a Mindstretcher alumni. He is in university now, but Venu is a very, very good speaker. As you can see, he's a little bit unique. Venu, you're there. Thank you very much for showing your handsome face. Okay, so Venu is a little bit unique. If you realize right now, what happens is that you realize that he studied in NUS High. So now you may be a little bit curious. NUS High, then how come he's doing IB diploma? So this was what happened, okay? Now, for those of you who actually have kids or who have siblings or friends who are NUS High, you know that NUS High is a 6-year program, correct? You go to NUS High, it's an IP program. So for those of you who are not familiar, again, I just want to talk briefly. An IP program, it just means you don't take the O levels, okay? So IP leads to 3 different paths in Singapore. One is the A levels. After primary 6, you go to year 1, year 2, year 5, you take the A levels. First IP route. Second IP route, you end up with the IB diploma, okay? IB diploma, okay? IB diploma. Third IP route, NUS High diploma. So it's very interesting here. What happened to Venu? So this also happened. Venu, after spending 3 years at NUS High, I think because of some family concerns and he needed to see to his grandfather, very filial. And I want to applaud Venu on this because Venu, despite having a perfect score, he actually came back to study at NUS High. He actually became a Singapore citizen. With a perfect IB score, he had go to a lot of universities, but he chose to study here and he chose to serve the army, which I thought was really, really great because he felt that he owed something to Singapore, so he wanted to show his appreciation. And this is something commendable because trust me, not all students think that way. And trust me, I've seen many other students who do otherwise. So in this case, I'm very pleased to introduce Venu to you here. I thought it was very nice. So Venu, what happens to this? Now, people who do the IB diploma, usually they do it in 6 years. But Venu is a little bit more unique. So he spent 3 years at NUSI, he went to India, he went to an international school, and he completed his NIB diploma in 2 years. So in other words, his was a shortcut, okay? So people who Singapore, that means his peers would have finished, whether it's IB, whether it's A-levels, IB diploma, or NUSI diploma, they finished 6 years, he finished with 5 years, and he's here right now, okay? So the reason why I introduced Venu is because Venu is also helping us with a couple of things, not just for oral, but composition marking. I want to repeat, composition writing is a very, very key skill, which we will talk about it in the coming seminars. So please do join our groups and all these things will be given free, okay? So at any one time, if you have any questions, please feel free to check with Venu as well. So Venu is a fantastic speaker. Let me tell you, I have many students, okay? But not many students, I make them my assistant tutor because it's not so easy to be my assistant tutor considering I teach all levels, right? I don't just teach PSLE, I teach PSLE, I teach secondary, I teach poly students, I teach university students and so forth. Okay, but Venu, I thought it was a very brilliant guy. So in terms of his speaking, in terms of his overall train, I thought that is why he was co-teacher with me for master speakers for pretty much half of last year before he entered university. So I thought it's most instructive to have Venu with here today. So if any questions, please say yes. One of you asked, are the upcoming webinars free? Yes, they are free, just like tonight and just like what you have on Monday, because we believe in sharing the resources, we believe in sharing the tools for everybody. So yes, they are free. Whether you're a Mindstretcher student or not, it really doesn't matter, because at this point in time, we understand the anxiety of many students, we understand the anxiety of parents, so hey, we try to help you. So yeah, it's going to be free. Yeah, so don't worry about that. That is not so important. What's important is what you listen tonight. Okay, so a couple of things. I just show a preliminary idea first before I show the tools and the resources. Now, what is the biggest problem in the oral exam? Can some of you type in your comments? Okay, whether it's SBC or reading, it doesn't matter. Just type in your comments. SBC, perfect. SBC, no. No problems at all. Okay, now before I forget, I'm not going to cover this because some of these we covered in our recent series of webinars. For those of you who attended the Sunday webinars, you realize that Mr. Sharma covered an extensive 10 hours. We won't be going through that again, but because all of you are very, very conscientious students, that's why you're here tonight. I'm going to share the resources with you, okay? So take a look at this. I'm going to attach them here right now. I'm just going to attach them here right now. And if you cannot attach them, please tell our team here, right? So I'm going to attach 3 documents here, those which I covered in the previous couple of weeks, but I won't be going through them, but this will give you some ideas, okay? So hold on, just give me a while. I'm going to attach a couple of documents. So what I'm going to attach are these 3 documents. Everybody take note. I have, okay, first of all, you will see that I have attached the PSLE Reading Aloud pack. Number 1. It's just gone through. Everybody should get it. Unless you're using Apple, which I think Swedi, our manager, will try to address that problem. So I have just sent the first document, junior speaker on reading aloud, and there are some things there which I won't be covering, but it's good for your practice and other things, okay? Second document I'm going to share is the SBC reading pack. SBC reading pack. SBC reading pack. There are 4 or 5 scenarios here with detailed models. Please take a look at that as well. It will help you for exam. So second document has gone through. Second document has gone through. Now for the final document, okay? So don't worry about all these things. I will just talk briefly about it later, but not the main focus here tonight, because main focus here tonight, we're going to talk about a few other things. Okay, just take a look at this document. So the third document now has just gone through. You have see. So again, for those of you who are using Apple product, please check your manager on how you can get it, because I'm not an expert myself, because I am an Android guy. Okay, yes. So I've sent all 3 documents. Now let's go through. Now, because problem in oral, so just I won't go through ask questions, because I think we need to be a little bit more efficient. Because problem is oral for reading. Let's talk about reading first. Let's reading first. Speaking too fast. Okay, right now I'm speaking too fast because I am not taking an exam. When I'm taking an exam, I will be speaking a little bit more slowly. Okay, the reason why I'm speaking a little bit fast here is because I've got a lot of things to cover. But it is okay because I'm experienced. You are not so experienced. So speaking too fast is a cardinal sin. Why do I say this? When you speak too fast, a few things are going to happen. 80%, I've taught thousands of students over the years, 80% of them, when they speak too fast, a few things happen. Number 1, they misread the word, okay? They misread the word. Alvin becomes like Alan or so forth. Govind becomes like Govinda or so forth. Cardinal sin number 1, speaking too fast. So if you speak too fast, you make reading errors. Not only that, you add in your own words. Not only that, you miss out the words. So 3 things happens when you speak too fast. And speaking too fast is a real cardinal sin because it affects a few things: accuracy, articulation, and your ability to pronounce the words like ed, t, you miss out. And fourthly, expression, expressive. When you read too fast, it's really, really difficult to be expressive. We will demonstrate that later, okay? So take note of this. Is this something within your control? Absolutely. Speaking too softly, yes. Speaking too softly, nobody can hear you. And if you speak too softly, you come across as not being so confident. Does it matter? Yes, it matters. Everything is about creating the impression, right? If I speak to you, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to show you how to be confident in reading. If I said, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, I'm going to show you how to be confident in reading. It doesn't quite gel, okay? It doesn't quite gel. Okay, clue? These are cardinal sins. Not pausing, yes, commas exist for a reason. So when you see a comma or when there's expression, take the time to pause. In fact, when you actually want to become a good communicator, the power of the pause is really, really important. Okay, I just want to demonstrate. I'm just showing you an example. If I just imagine I'm reporting news for Singapore general elections. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Singapore has spoken. The general election results have just come in. See, I didn't speak without pauses. But if I do it this way, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Singapore has spoken. The results of the general elections has just shown an overwhelming majority for the People's Action Party. So the pause is important because it lets the message sink in, okay? But that is beyond this course. I just want to tell you in general. So the power is pauses, especially when there are expressions, especially they are commas. So make sure you do that because many people omit the commas. Okay, clear? Number 4, you are flat. Nobody likes, you see, reading is all about creating an impression. If you are flat, you are monotonous. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to tell you about how to read well for oral. When you read well for oral, you must try to be expressive. And you've really got to speak the way like I do because it's really interesting. And before long, you're going to fall asleep. And that's the whole idea of why I'm doing this anyway. So exactly, you need to be expressive. You cannot be monotonous. Okay, clear? And these are simple things which we all need to be. Eating our words, mispronouncing words, we jumble all the words. We're going to do a couple of demonstrations. Okay, so this is related specifically to the oral exam. Let's go to the next one. Now, over the last couple of weeks, Mr. Shah and I conducted a couple of reading exams. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions. I want everybody to type in the chat box. When you do your reading, do you need to have eye contact? So you see, we see a variety of answers here. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Remember, your oral exam is next week. Okay, but I totally understand. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. We see all these answers. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. We see all the answers right now. But right now, this is a problem. Reading, whether it's for PSLE, whether it's for higher levels, unless it is like, let me give us unless you're going for the lambda reading exam or competition skills. Okay, so there is a difference. I want to briefly demonstrate just a piece of newspaper here. Okay, reading. What's the purpose of reading? Reading is reading. For your PSLE, reading is reading. You focus on reading. No eye contact is needed. I repeat, no eye contact is needed. And later I'm going to show you the SEAB rubrics. Everybody clear? No eye contact is needed. Cardinal sin number 1. Some people say that reading need eye contact, and I totally understand because their teachers in school tell them, but this is not correct. Okay, clear? Reading, no eye contact is needed. Reading with eye contact is a skill, and master speakers, we do it, it is a skill, right? So reading for PSLE is just like that. There are many reasons to feel confused by current American policy. US President Donald Trump keeps issuing final tariff threats, then backing down. The White House wants to create industrial jobs, but is gutting the Inflation Reduction Act that was doing just that, mostly in red states. This is a PSLE reading style, good enough. Master speakers, speaking style, higher level stuff, you read with eye contact. This is a skill. Eye contact and gestures. See how I do it? There are many reasons to feel confused by the current American policy. Now, US President Donald Trump keeps issuing tariff threats, then backing down. The White House wants to create industrial jobs, but is cutting the inflation index. Now, this is a high-level skill. Agree? And it's not so easy unless you're trained, unless you have ample practice, you cannot do it with eye contact. So rule number 1, no eye contact needed for your PSLE. Okay? Clear? That's number 1. Okay? Second, memorize the reading passage. Now, the last week when we conduct the oral SVC, here was what one of the students told us. The students told us that the teacher tells him that just before that, spend the 5 minutes of your preparation time memorizing the reading passage so that when you read, you can maintain eye contact. Now, this, think about it, does it make sense? Are you being tested on memory? Are you being tested on reading? Now, this is a really serious misconception. Clear? And that's why I told the student, no, you cannot do this. Okay, you do this, you're finished. If so easy, let me ask you, even, okay, I'm a good student. I used to be a good student in the past, fantastic memory in the past. Right now, no longer. But even then, if you ask me to memorize something in 5 minutes, I will tell you it's mission impossible. Okay, now you're doing it under exam conditions. So no memorizing of the reading passage, no. Okay, make eye contact, no. Memorize the reading content. Use dramatic movements. Okay, when you are speaking in public, we need some height. We can have some hand gestures. Part and parcel of our natural expression. Just instead when I talked to Mr. Sham, when I was playing her, hey, Mr. Sham, the mee pok you cook are terrible lah. Why do you cook that way, Mr. Sham? Right, I'm going to have my hand gesture. Mr. Sham, what's wrong with your hairstyle? Come on. You probably got the worst hairdresser I've ever seen. Come on, wake up now. Okay, so I'm being expressive, right? I'm having the hand gestures. PSLE, you don't need hand gestures. Okay, just read expressively. That is all you need. Clear? So the answers for this, no. Okay, and just to prove it. Okay, and how do you spend your 5 minutes of preparation time? Not to memorize the passage. That is totally out. Okay, try reading through immediately. You don't have a lot of time because you also need to prepare for SVC, right? So for me, first read through immediately, read one time through and take note of the challenging parts. Identify places to showcase your variation. Everything is in your variation. Variation of tone, variation of pace, variation of emotions. This is all that is needed. Clear? Okay? So address mismanagement. So maybe there'll be one or two difficult words, focus on that, then we're done. Stay calm and let your preparation come through. No memorizing, don't be bothered memorizing, you're going to go mad. And nobody can memorize. And if you need to memorize, there is no instruction. Please memorize the passage in 5 minutes as quickly as possible. No. So clear? So let's talk a couple of things again. I want to show the reading challenges before I show you the oral tool. Okay? Let us go through this. And it was in relation to the document which I just showed you earlier. I just showed you the document earlier, right? Let me bring out the piece. Let me bring out the document again. Okay, I just want to talk about this. As I mentioned today, we're focusing on this, and you should have this document as per what I've attached. Can you see my screen? What do you see on my screen?
Guided reading aloud practice.
Sorry, you don't see my PDF, right?
No, it's guided reading aloud. There is
Okay, no, I need to bring out the, because I want to talk about the rubrics first. Just give me a while. The document which I just sent to everybody, I'm going to go through it right now. Just give me a while. Okay, it's loading. Okay, I just want to go through the rubrics quickly. You can take a look at it on time. I will not be covering this. You already have the document. Okay, I just want to prove a couple of things. Everybody needs to know the rubrics. Now, all school rubrics PSLE will be derived from this. Okay, everybody take a look. I think it's fundamental that in case you're not too familiar, this is your PSLE oral rubrics which was revised this year. This is from the Singapore Examination Board. It's not mine. And whatever rubrics you have in school, all will be cascaded from this. Am I clear? There will be minor principles. Take a look at AO1. Read aloud fluently and expressively. Fluently and expressly. No mention about you need to memorize. No mention about eye contact. No, because you are tested on reading. Everybody knows how to read, but what matters is whether you can read expressively. In Chinese terms, read with 感觉. Okay, whatever it is, read with emotions. Read aloud fluently and expressively with clear and accurate. Clear, you need to articulate. Accurate, you need to pronounce the words correctly. Okay, clear? To suit purpose, audience, and context. So this year, they change it and they want to make sure that you take the purpose and audience into context. Everybody clear? So how do you get to read expressively before I show you the oral tool? Is that just a couple of points. Okay, I'm not going to go through. You just need to, okay, let's not talk about this. You can read all of this in your free time. Okay, so I'm not going to go through this. I just want to bring out oral tool. So clear? Number one, you need to have, just briefly, you need to have the correct rhythm, read framework, stress, intonation. You need to be expressive, just your emotions. You need to articulate the words. And A can also mean for accuracy. Okay, you need to be accurate and articulate. And number one, relevant pace. Okay, now I'm going to show you this tool. Now, everybody, please go to readaloud.sg. And everybody type in this code. You're going to have free access. You're going to free access up to your oral exam. Okay? Everybody, let me give you what is the oral code? Hold on. Okay, once you see this, so let me go to the page. Wait, let me show the screen first. Let me show the screen first. I'll share the screen. I'm going to go through the website. Okay. Everybody can see this? Everybody can see this? Let us change it a little bit. I'm going to go in from scratch. Read aloud. SG. Okay? Everybody can see this? Okay? Right now, I'm already logged in. But for those who have not logged in, you create an account and you type in the code. The code is, let me give you a while. The code is PSLE 2025. Okay, let me type it down. Okay, so everybody, you can do that later, not to worry, but I just want to type the code down. This is the code, yes, PSLE 2025 without the spacing. Once you get that, you get everything for free. Okay, so the reason why we want a reading tool is It's like that. Okay, so right now we want to do a brief demonstration. Okay, we are going to get one student to read. Okay, we're going to get one student to read. So once you log in, once you create, where do you type in the code? Where do you type in the code? Once you subscribe, right? Hold on. I think there's a pricing here or whatever. Because mine is already in, there is a code where you subscribe and you pay. But instead of paying the $10, you type in the code and you'll be able to access everything. But just for your purposes, let's go to this. Even if you don't have the code, you are going to be able to see this, okay? But as I mentioned, there are 40 reading exercises and we're going to show you this right now. Oh, it's taking too long to load. Oh, yeah. Are you able to log in? So as you can see here right now, right, we want students and parents to see what's possible, not just what's possible. And this reading tool is not just for your PSLE, it's general form. In general form means you want to be a good communicator, you want to be a good reader going forward, and you can do a lot of things with it. So it's for me, we are focusing on life skills, not just for PSLE. I think this is important, okay? I think this is important. So let me show you example, okay? Anyway, you all can, if you're not too sure, you let us know, but later we will do it. So let's have this scenario. We want one student to read this. Okay, now you see, practice exercises. So once you're signed in, you will have access to all 40 reading passages. Am I clear? You're going to have access to all 40 reading passages. And right now, for those who didn't sign in, you see this free. But we're making free for everybody up to the oral exam. Whether you're a MySearcher student or not, it doesn't matter. So please make sure you unlock it using the code we have just given you, PSLE 2025. Okay, let's use the free version first, okay, so that everybody knows, so that everybody will access to the free version first. And we're going to get some students to read. Not just some, just one. So that everybody get a sense of the flavor and you will rate this student. Okay? You will rate this student. Let's bring up the reading passage. I think people are logging in, so there is some delay, but no problem. You come up. So as you can see, there are 40 reading passages. I think they're all instructive, all different purpose, audience, or context in all way. So please make sure you log in after this and try it out, okay? And as I mentioned, it's all free. Okay, so show and tell. So this is the purpose, audience, context. Everybody can see, right? Let's make this bigger. You have written the show and tell script shown below. During an English lesson, your teacher has selected you to give the presentation. You will now present the topic to the class. Can we have one student? What website is this? The website is, Sweetie, can you help up the right side? The website is readaloud.sg. Okay, remember, readaloud.sg. The promo code is PSLE 2025. Once you sign up and subscribe for there, you will get free access to everything. Okay, can we have one student demonstrating? We're just going to choose one random student. I understand that there are many enthusiastic students here. Thank you for being so participative. We will have a reading competition after your PSLE. Trust me on this. Okay. So I think, okay, Mohammed Zafir. Thank you very much. Mohammed Zafir, can you briefly introduce yourself?
My name is Muhammad Azafir. I'm from St. Gabriel's Primary School.
St. Gabriel's Primary School. Very good. You just finished your oral exam?
No, we haven't
For your
done.
prelims. For your prelims.
Yeah. I've
Yes,
done
what score do you get?
38 out of 40.
Okay, fantastic. 30 out of 40. So how many must you get for your reading?
14 out of 15.
Okay, where do you drop that 1 mark?
Because my throat was kind of sore, so sometimes I was stuttering a bit.
That was what your teacher told you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, let's have you read right now. So everybody listens to our dear gentleman here and give him a score, okay, out of 15. That's right.
Good morning, everyone. For show and tell today, I brought along 2 postcards of the Jodi River. They are my grandfather's prized possessions because they are possibly a century old. The first postcard shows a bustling scene of the Jodi River. Can you see these boats along the river? Sadly, they don't exist anymore. Now, that river taxis with tourists can board for a short ride, and during the cruise, they can admire the National Theatre and the newly constructed Arts Centre. I asked my grandfather what was most memorable to him about the river. He said, "Long ago, my friends and I used to swim in the river. Some naughty boys would even push their friends in fully clothed." The second postcard shows a wooden bridge across the river. Do you know it was built entirely by villagers? It's amazing that it lasted over 2 decades before it was demolished. I've come to the end of my presentation. I hope you found it interesting. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, this brave young boy. How many marks would you give yourself before I leave to the jury of 500 plus students before? So your score will just be a popularity contest in this particular context. Okay, yes. What is how many marks would you give yourself?
13 out of 15.
Okay, some of you put upon 50, your whole oral exam is only upon 40. Where are you going to get the bonus marks? That's number one. That's the first big problem. Second big problem, we are only focusing on reading. Reading is upon 15, not upon 40, not upon 50. I'm going to strangle some of you. Okay. Anyway, right now you know, you better know your reading is upon 15. Your stimulus-based conversation is 25. So today we'll focus on 15. So how many marks did you get? Yes, Mr. Gentleman. How many marks, Mr. St. Gabriel?
I think I'll
give
give
yourself?
myself 13 out of 15
13. Why 13 and not 14 and not 15? Or are you being too harsh on yourself?
because I feel like there was some words that I did not pronounce the
Which one?
consonant.
Which one? You feel? Which one? Is it a fact or your opinion?
My opinion.
Which one?
Around the second paragraph, around
Our
the second to third line.
second to third line. Now they're river taxis, which tourists. Okay, fine, fair enough. Let's have the jury with Venu and Mr. Sham. Mr. Sham, how many marks are you going to give him?
He should get at least 13.
At least 13.
Because,
Why?
yeah,
Why not 14?
because he is expressive.
Yep.
He switched out 2 words, added in some,
Where?
and towards the end,
Okay, very important.
there
listener.
was
Mr.
there
Sham
are
said she added.
possibly
Sorry?
there are a possibly a century old.
Okay.
And I think, can you see these boats along the river? Sadly, they don't. Somewhere, yes, he did say somewhere around the second and third line.
Right,
He
right.
omitted, and then he reread a word memorable.
Okay.
Yeah, so that broke the sequence. But other
Okay.
than that, he was very expressive. Now,
Good.
the other tip I have to give all of you, this text is actually loaded with feelings. Even though it's show and tell, there's some words that don't sound as happy as the whole passage is. Can anyone tell us which words actually carry negative meanings? And you might have to vary your tone a little. Very good. So how do you read the second paragraph? Can you see these boats along the river? So what this boy did very bravely, he went, sadly, they don't exist anymore. The thing is, it should be read if you can focus on practicing some of these little tips. Sadly, they don't exist anymore. So you have to go a little bit slower and sound a little bit sad. Then the other word would be, it's amazing. Like the second postcard shows a wooden bridge across the river. Do you know it was built entirely by the villagers? So you want to have that, wow, wide-eyed kind of effect. It's amazing that it lasted over 2 decades before it was demolished. So towards the end, a little bit too rushed. It should be, because you want to hit home the point. I've come to the end of my presentation. I hope you found it interesting. Thank you for your attention. So don't rush all those parts.
Thank you very much.
And
Do you know how many marks are you giving him?
I would give him 13 out of 15 too. I would, and I think Mrs. Sham hit the nail on the head. The 2 things that I caught was that you did, repeat your words a few times. And the other thing is that there were certain emotions that you didn't express at certain sentences. So I would give you 13 out of 15 too.
Okay, thank you very much. So Venu has got to leave by 8:30 because of something urgent, but he was also in charge of trying to develop some of these tools. So I thought he's a great presence here. But having said that, we are being strict here. Do you understand? You are being strict here, but I thought you did a fabulous job. For me, if you just eliminate that mistake, a couple of mistakes, you get full marks. I can absolutely assure you that. Okay, so this is all you need to do. So a couple of reading tips here. Not only reading tips, if you realize that, okay, I'm not going to go through this. It's just for you. But more importantly, it's for you to listen. As we always say, it's not just about giving you the tips. It's easy. You need to read better. You need to read process. The question is how. This is always question. Very pace or impact. How? Okay, so that is why we came up with this tool. This tool was developed by our team. Yes, it was developed by a team, and it took us some time, but over time we're going to get better. And very important, if you got any feedback, just let us know. Okay, so this is the audio sample. Listen to how the passage should be. It doesn't matter what the accent is. It is all dependent on us. We can make it whatever accent we want. But I thought being practical, because when you go higher level, there is always a certain type of accent. Okay, so listen.
Good morning, everyone. For show and tell today, I've brought along 2 postcards of the Joey River. They are my grandfather's prized possessions because they are possibly a century old. The first postcard shows a bustling scene of the Jody River. Can you see these boats along the river? Sadly, they don't exist anymore. Now there are river taxis, which tourists can board for a short ride, and during the cruise, they can admire the National Theater and the newly constructed Art Center. I asked my grandfather what was most memorable to him about the river. He said, "Long ago, my friends and I used to swim in the river. Some naughty boys would even push their friends in fully clothed." The second postcard shows a wooden bridge across the river. Do you know it was built entirely by the villagers? It's amazing that it had lasted over 2 decades before it was demolished. I've come to the end of my presentation. I hope you found it interesting. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, fine. So I think this is a very powerful tool because it actually puts what we say into action. So just imagine this is a teacher for you. Instead of us having to read it every time for you because it's not so easy to read effectively and expressively, we thought that we build a tool for everybody to have. So everybody, please make sure you use this tool. It is open for everybody till PSLE Oral exam. Okay, so whether you're a My Strategy student or not, whether taking English, whether you're not My Strategy student, doesn't matter. Make use of this so as to help you for your PSLE Oral exam. There's no reason for you not to use this. Okay, I repeat, and it helps. And you realize that here we put in the annotations. Okay, there is no right or wrong way, but for us, because we are good in speaking, because for us we teach speaking courses in general, not just English, we know how to be expressive speakers. Okay, so I think this is a very important key skill. There are annotations for you, but more importantly is to read. And reading is always with emotions. Let me give you a secret. Whether it's reading, whether it's presentation, whether it's public speaking, whether it's storytelling, whether it's a TED Talk, whether it's for anything, you just need to have your emotions. That's it. The difference between a beginner speaker, intermediate speaker, advanced speaker, master speaker is just this: the degree of variation. Degree of variation in what? The voice, the tone, the volume, the pace. And as you go higher level, expressions, hand gestures. But that's another different level. That's a master speaker's level. At our level, the voice is all that matters. Am I clear? And this is important. That's why hand gestures not important right now. Yeah, right now you see I have hand gestures. Why? Because it's normal for me. It's normal. It's just our normal way of speaking. Do you agree? Okay, but for PSLE, you don't need. You just focus on your reading. And if you would watch those singing shows, those blind auditions, you realize what is the most important thing? Not how you look, not your gestures. The judges are like that. I just listen to your voice. Wow. Then, whoa, then I found out that you look like a gorilla, but your voice is fantastic. You're still in. Okay, so the voice is everything for your oral. Everybody clear? So I want everybody to log into this, create an account. The code is there. Clear? And it's great for you to practice, for you to, so this is the first tool. Later I'll show you there's an assessment tool, Assessment 2, I will go through it while Benu is still here. I'll try to go, I will start at 8:15. That, okay? Everybody, PS, read aloud. Please make sure you go in, log in, get exercises because we're trying to help as many students as possible. And as I mentioned, going forward, next few weeks, we're going to have more for PSLE students and secondary students, but we'll focus on the graduating batches first. Okay, let's try another one. A letter to my future self. Anyway, we have the oral books on this, okay? But we thought that maybe we put everything for all students to have so that they learn. Okay, another student, please. Well, now everybody wants to try to read. Thank you very much. I think that is the spirit. That's how you become better. Belina, sorry, we're just choosing a random, not because I know you. We do not see anybody. I just see the name here, Belina. And because you sound like Thumbelina, yes, you're in my good books because I used to read Thumbelina when I was young. So Belina, yes, let's have you.
Hello, my name is Belina. I'm
Yes.
from Waterway Primary School.
Where?
Waterway Primary School.
Waterway Primary School. Are you in primary 5 or primary 6? Primary 6. Okay. Okay, so Belina, thank you very much for volunteering. What was your recent prelim marks? Total first, then give me the breakdown.
37 out of 40.
Okay, I think that's a very good score. Your reading?
14 out of 15.
Great. What you dropped the 1 mark for?
Because I didn't stop for 1 comma and I think the flow was a bit disrupted because of that stop.
Okay, remember what we said around the pauses, right? The pauses and the comma. You see, that's why it's a cardinal sin. It's a common, so don't worry, just make sure. You see, the problem with making mistakes like that is that if the teacher is very strict, just imagine you misread a word, you add in a word, you mispronounce a word, and you don't add the pauses. The problem with this, I tell you what is the problem with this? For me, it seems to be a double whammy. Double whammy because you get marks deducted for that. At the same time, it breaks your fluency. Do you understand? It breaks the flow. So this is always the problem, okay? But good job, well done. I'm quite sure you will get full marks for your PSLE. Let's read. So this is the scenario. This is the context. During English language class, your teacher asks you to share an example of reflective writing. Reflective means your reflections. You will learn more of that when we talk about when you attend our secondary school seminars going forward, okay? Reflective writing, many of you will be doing in primary, Sec 1, Sec 2, Sec 3, Sec 4, depending on the school you're in. Read your letter aloud to your classmates. Okay, Belina, the stage is yours. I want everybody to listen intently and give her the score. Start. And you see, I want to repeat, why do you give people a score? Because it's also a way for you to learn. Just like when you're speaking class, we always ask students to be able to give evaluation, because by giving evaluation, you yourself improve. This is a fact, okay? The process of giving evaluation makes you become a better reader, becomes a better speaker, absolutely critical, absolutely core. Okay, Belina.
Dear future me, I'm writing this on my first day of primary 6. Sitting at my usual spot near the classroom window, the morning sun is streaming in, and I can hear the primary 1 students playing during their recess. Remember how tiny we once were? This year feels different. Miss Tan told us they were just every moment counts as we prepare for PSLE. It's a bit scary, but also exciting. I've made some important promises to myself. I want to complete my homework before playing games. Help mom more with chores and practice my Chinese characters every day. Most importantly, I want to try my best without being too hard on myself. Last night, Dad told me something interesting. PSLE is just one journey of many, he said while helping me organize my textbooks. Focus on learning, not just scoring. I'm trying to remember that wisdom. I wonder what you're doing now as you read this. Did we get into the secondary school we wanted? Did we keep our promises? Are you still sitting next to Li Ting? Does Mr. Kumar still tell those funny science jokes? Whatever happened, I hope we learned and grew stronger. I hope we made our family proud, not just through our grades, but through our efforts and attitude. Stay brave and kind, me.
Okay, Belina, how many marks are you giving yourself?
Probably 10 because I mixed up a bit of words.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. What about the other students? Okay, you see my fingers, huh? I was counting the number of mistakes which you made. So how many mistakes do you make?
6.
No, 60. No, just joking. Okay, 6. I counted 6. Okay, so a couple of things. As I mentioned, so what mistakes do you make? You misread the words, you repeated the words, you dropped some words, you edited some words, you changed some words. Very important. So I need you to be focused. So I'm being very strict here. So I'm telling you what I'm being very strict about. That I just want you to focus. Do you understand? So because of this, because of the great number of mistakes, I'm not saying that there's 1 mark allocated for accuracy, 1 mistake at 1 mark. No, I'm just being very strict here. Just to force you to be a little bit more focused, I'm going to deduct 3 marks for accuracy. Clear? Number 1, I'm giving you my score right now. I'm being strict here for your benefit for PSLE. I'm going to deduct 3 marks accuracy because I find that 6, 7 mistakes, you can definitely do better. Number 1, I'm being strict here. Number 2, you didn't pronounce the ending sounds. I didn't get the impression that you were pronouncing the ending sounds. Dear future me, I'm writing this on my first. I just need a general impression. I'm writing this on my first day of primary 6, sitting at my usual spot. I need to have general impression. I don't need general impression near the classroom window. The morning sun is streaming in, and I can hear the primary 1 students playing during their recess. Remember how tiny we once were. Okay, just a couple of things. This one here, for the benefit of everybody, T-H-E-I-R is pronounced as there. T-H-E-I. It is a homonym. Homonym means words which are spelled differently but pronounced the same way as T-H-E-R-E. Am I clear? It's pronounced the same as T-H-E-R-E, homonym. But if you can't pronounce it as there, if you cannot just pronounce it as there, don't bother. Clear? Don't bother, okay? More importantly, it's your fluency because we cannot change overnight. So there recess. If you can, if you cannot, just there, doesn't matter because normally how you pronounce it, go ahead. Fluency is ultimately important. So I'm going to deduct 1 mark for your articulation, your ending sounds which didn't come across very clearly. So again, last paragraph. Whatever happened, ED, I hope we learned ED and grew stronger. I hope we made our family proud. Proud, D, not just through our grades, but through our efforts and attitude. Stay brave and kind, me. So I remember I deduct 3 marks accuracy, very strict here, 1 mark for your ending sounds and 1 mark for overall break in fluency. As I mentioned, overall impression, the break in fluency is a double whammy. This is how I'm doing. So 10 because I'm strict. Okay, for your PSLE, I think you probably get 11 or 12. But let's be strict here. Let's focus on trying to minimize these mistakes. You realize that the minute you minimize the mistakes, you should get at least 13. Am I clear? That's why I say this is an important reading tool. Make use of it. So let's listen to this.
Dear future me, I'm writing this on my first day of primary 6, sitting at my usual spot near the classroom window. The morning sun is streaming in, and I can hear the primary 1 students playing during their recess. Remember how tiny we once were? This year feels different. Mrs. Tan just told us that every moment counts as we prepare for PSLE. It's a bit scary, but also exciting. I've made some important promises to myself. I want to complete my homework before playing games, help Mom more with house chores, and practice my Chinese characters every day. Most importantly, I want to try my best without being too hard on myself. Last night, Dad told me something interesting. PSLE is just one journey of many, he said while helping me organize my new textbooks. Focus on learning, not just scoring. I'm trying to remember that wisdom. I wonder what you're doing now as you read this. Did we get into the secondary school we wanted? Did we keep our promises? Are you still sitting next to Li Ting? Does Mr. Kumar still tell those funny science jokes? Whatever happened, I hope we learned and grew stronger. I hope we made our family proud, not just through our grades, but through our efforts and attitude. Stay brave and kind, me.
Okay, for those who have asked about the Mrs. 10, don't worry about that. It's not significant because depending on how you pronounce it, and many of the Westerners pronounce Mrs. 10, it's fine. Don't worry, nothing too critical. What is critical is to read accurately for all the rest. Clear? So everybody make use of this tool. Okay, cool. So PSLE, again, this is the website. Read aloud. Feel free to browse it, unlock it, and use it to see what expressive reading is. I think it's a very, very powerful tool. Now let me introduce to you the next tool before Venu goes away. Okay, for clear? So this is the first tool. Readaloud.sg. Use it. It's free for everybody. Even if after your PSLE is only $10, it's really a small amount. Okay, $10, not a big amount, but right now it's free for everybody. So please make sure you use it. And going forward, we're going to improve this with a lot of other features. This is just the beginning. And the reason why we developed this because I think it's a very important skill. We think it's a very important skill for everybody to have. Okay, because it's part and parcel of your speaking. Now let's go on to next thing, which I want everybody to go to oral@mindstretcher.com. Oral@mindstretcher.com. This is what you see. Now I just want to talk about a couple of things first. Everybody see this. So this is a little bit different. I tell you why this is a little bit different. You just imagine, okay? So this is an assessment tool, but only if you need it. It's not compulsory, but I tell you how this works so that you all understand. That one, the tool previously we had, we tried to control it, but this one, now this is what we do. This is an assessment tool. That means it's going to assess every single sentence you read. So it is a platform. We developed this tool, Venu, Moses, and a few others developed this tool, but at the end of the day, we got to use a facility. You just imagine, let's say you're using Microsoft Word. You need to subscribe for Microsoft Windows, right? In order to use Microsoft Word, right? So this is exactly what we do. So there is a cost to this. Why? Because we are using the tool to analyze your speech. So because of that, there's a cost. And the cost to us right now is around 70, 80 US cents per assessment. I repeat, 70 to US 80 cents per assessment. So we try to subsidize this as much as possible. So we thought that just until now, so the cost for this, if you need, okay, if you use a discount code is $15. If not, it's $25. Okay, and I'm going to show you so that you understand what I mean. I'm going to show you what I mean, and there are a couple of practices here. And if you want, you can use it as a way to assess. $15 is still not too much. Again, this is just, we are not collecting this. We are paying the provider to provide this tool. We developed this tool, but we need to license it in order for us, all the APIs for us to use. So this is the cost to it. Okay, so I just want you to know that. Okay, let me demonstrate. And very important, okay, I want to demonstrate. This is my account because I've got an account. And I did it just now, just for purposes of this, okay? So once you log in, you'll find that whatever you see just now in Readaloud.sg, the 40 reading passages, right? All these things, you can access it here. So this was what I did just now, okay? I tried. Each practice uses 1 credit. This is exactly what you saw, correct? Right? So I did it just before this seminar, just to demonstrate and don't waste too much time, okay? So for $15, you're going to have access to all the assessment tools. So this is my assessment history. Everybody take a look. I just read it just to demo, okay? So my first score was 79. My second score was 80. So I just want to demonstrate. I'm going to click in, okay? So reading practices, so this is how I assess myself. I recorded it and I read it. I just want to show you how this assessment tool works. So loading. So just now I read in advance that same passage and it gave me, take a look. Overall score, I had 79. Fluency, 82. Expressiveness, 78. Pronunciation, 77. Select a section to view the details. So let me demonstrate. So I'm going to click this. Look at my summary. 79. Overall, you provide a steady and clear reading with good expressiveness in parts. Your reading is mostly at a fluent pace and features appropriate pauses without any hesitations. However, there's room for improvement in pronunciation, particularly with certain phonemes, right? While the expressionist shows enthusiasm and passion at times, increasing the dynamics further could enhance over. I was just testing in multiple ways. Fine? So estimated PSLE mark is not exact science. The estimated mark range is 10 to 12. Not exact science, I repeat, but it's a pretty good job. Now let's talk a little, because I'm going to show you how it works. Summary, fluency. Your reading speed is generally quick, which makes some parts feel a bit rushed. While your reading does flow smoothly with minimal excitement, your pace affects the clarity. So you realize it analyzes your speech beat by beat. So it's very exact. Speed, you're reading too quickly, try slowing down to be clearer and more expressive. So this is actually a very instructive and detailed teacher. Teachers cannot do this because they don't take into account every single sentence, every single word, whereas this tool does. Okay, so it's actually very powerful. They're just giving you some examples. I'm not going to go through it. I'm just showing you what is possible. Okay, now, no. I'm going to show you again. So I'm going to go through because you can actually hear the different parts. Expressiveness. Take a look, summary. I won't go through that. Sweet spot, average volume, so forth. Variation. So you see, now they show you. Variation is a lot more an art than science. Yes, it's not like a formula. You can't. One of the most useful ways to improve is to hear what a great speaker sounds like, absolutely, and try to mimic that to expand your repertoire. Now below we have surfaced 5 sentences where we thought variation could be improved and provided clips, so it actually helps you. Hearing said that, so this is my sentence, this is what I said. Hearing that made all our effort worthwhile. Okay, I was just running through, I was just trying to test in many different styles. So Sneak Smart.
I want to do this with my friends. Hearing that made all our effort worthwhile.
It was spoken in context. So there is a difference, right? There is a difference. This is how you express
all our effort worthwhile.
I want to do this with my friends. Hearing that made all our effort worthwhile.
So compare Speak Smart and me, definitely Speak Smart was better because we are showing you, I repeat, we are showing you what is possible, not what is possible. We are not interested in what is possible. Possible, everybody can pass, not a problem. But when you want to be an super expressive speaker, okay, I want to emphasize this. For me, exams are pretty easy. Exam is speaking. What is not so easy is to be able to speak on the spot, spontaneously, have a lot of knowledge. Okay, but that will come another time after your PSLE. But this is the basic thing. Once we can do this, all exams for me are not difficult. You just need some points. That's all. Yeah. Next one.
Today was such a rewarding day.
I delivered this sentence clearly, which is great. But to make it even better, you could show more excitement. Yes, today was such a rewarding day, especially around the word rewarding to help listeners feel so uplifting.
Today was such a rewarding day.
You see, the stress, the intonation, emphasis is different. So this is exactly why this tool is very powerful as an assessment tool. But as I mentioned, it's not compulsory. If some of you want your reading to be assessed, then you may want to subscribe for this. If not, you can just make aloud with read to see what is possible. Okay. As I mentioned, we are trying to we will improve this greatly over time. And very importantly, for those of you subscribe, please share your feedback. If you think that you can make this better in any way at all, whether it's a read aloud, just put in some comments there so that we can take this into account and make this tool better. And over time, we're going to have a lot of these to help all our students, whatever the level, which is realize that we are not just helping the PSLE students, because we realize that you get to learn it as soon as possible, the better, the younger we start. That's why we open this seminar to everybody. Okay, and going forward, that will be the strategy going forward. Clear? So everybody has a good idea. Venu, is there anything which you want to add?
No, I think one great feature over here is that when you open pronunciation or expressiveness, you can see the correct example and you can see where you went wrong. So this is a great way for you to see, your version of speaking versus the professional version. And
Yes.
it's very useful for you to be able to compare. It goes to great detail, and even individual, like phonemes is what they call it, individual consonants that you're pronouncing wrongly, you can find out from this tool, which is why, I highly recommend trying it out if you get the chance.
Yes. So for instance,
For school's courtesy campaign, my friends and
Courtesy.
trash bags we spent the morning picking up and
Spent.
okay, remember I recorded my speech earlier, I had it assessed. So that's why you see my speeches here. I did it in many different styles so that you all get a sense.
a man jogging stopped the tankers. A man jogging stopped the tankers.
Wait,
One little boy's excitement really stood out. Then
Excitement.
Okay, I didn't pronounce the T, so forth. So here,
one little boy's excitement really stood out.
I didn't
There's-
pronounce the words correctly, right? I didn't articulate.
Excitement.
Okay, so these are just some ideas for you to
Given a
commonly
few children join in,
commonly
saying,
mispronounced word. Listen how I said it.
given a few children join in, saying,
Children.
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 given a few children join in, saying,
Okay, especially when you speak fast, it's not easy to pronounce, right? So everybody clear? I think this is a very powerful tool, but only if you want. So again, I repeat, there is a cost to this, not charged by us, but charged by the tool, the license to use the tool, but we develop the program. So it's important, but it's just like a platform, okay? Because of that, there's a cost, and it costs 60, 70 to 80 US cents per assessment, which is still much cheaper than a private tutor, anytime, any day, and much more professional and much more detailed. So this is the power of all these things. Okay, everybody clear? Clear. So again, if you're really interested in having this assessment tool in this last lab, this is the code. The code there, as I mentioned, is PSLE Oral 2025, $15 off because of so there is a discount. Yeah, so you practically only pay $15. The original cost is $25. So again, it's very cheap. We try to help as many students as possible. This is not a tool for us to be taking money. No, that has never been our intention, but there is a cost. Just imagine if all of you start using this tool now, then we're going to pay quite a lot of money. So yeah, so this is the minimum. Clear? So practice reading aloud. So all the exercises which you find on read aloud is here, literary rubrics. So this is exactly what we're trying to say. If you already have account, you log in. If not, I log in because I already had account. Yep, and you practice reading aloud in the read aloud, so forth, latest PSLE rubrics, overall fluency, expression, pronunciation, actionable, and more important is specific steps for improvement. You tell you exactly where you need to improve. It just doesn't work. Okay, it's not the same as put into ChatGPT and they give you comments. No, this is too generic and it doesn't work. Here it listens to you step word by word, and so things we teach here, you need to speak at an appropriate pace. You need to project your voice. You need to pause for effect. You need to incorporate emotions. Emotions are everything. Okay, and common pronunciation errors. So I think it's pretty actionable and pretty instructive. So if you really want to improve, you can get access to this tool. Are there any questions at this point in time?
Mr.
So-
Alvin, just a quick point I wanted to ask.
Yes.
For all of you students, if you get a chance to use either of these tools, readaloud.sg or oral.mindstretcher.com, and you have any feedback whatsoever, please reach out to anyone at MindStretcher. The feedback will come to us and we'll work our best,
Yes.
way possible to make sure we can integrate your feedback. And of course, on oral.mindstretcher, there's also a share feedback
Share feedback,
button.
right? So once you click this, whether it's a read aloud or anything, it's something to say, you just say here.
Yep,
Okay,
and
that's
everyone
the-
can see this.
everyone
And-
can. So there is no such thing as a silly feedback. Okay, feedback are important so that we can improve our service to all students. So please feel free to give whatever feedback you think is necessary. Okay? So even if you think a great job, please say great job. If you think it really sucks, tell us it really sucks. Okay? That's how we improve over time. But I thought, because for us here at MindStretcher, it's very simple. We actually don't believe in doing something just for the sake of doing. We will do something which I think is worthwhile, because if it's just for the sake of doing for show, then it wastes our time, it also wastes your time. This has always been our philosophy. Okay, that much is pretty much clear. Over the years we have done this, and this is what. Okay, cool. So Venu, I understand that you could leave at 8:30 now, so please make sure to take your thank you for having thank you for joining us tonight.
Yep, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Have a great time. And good luck for your PSLE Oral, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, fine. Everybody has a good idea now of what this entails. So let me go back to the slides. Again, I'm going to give you the set of slides which we have today. Just let me attach this. Okay, just let me attach the slides here so that everybody has a copy of the slides here. So just now you had 3 documents, correct? So right now I'm giving you a copy of the slides. Just give me a while. Okay, I need to give me a while. I need to bring the slides to another place. Give me 1 minute because sorry about that.
Meanwhile, let's ask them to type in any questions they may have.
Okay.
What happens if you don't know the word and how to pronounce the word? Then you read it without stopping, okay? You come up with your own pronunciation, read it as if you know it. Don't pause deliberately before it. If not, it becomes too obvious. Somebody asked how to make your voice louder. Only you know how to make your voice louder. Practice at home. Practice different passages, record yourself, listen to how loud or soft you are, and then moderate it. How do we greet the teacher? Well, good morning, teachers, or good afternoon, teachers. You won't know their names, but there will be a pair of examiners. So just say good morning or good afternoon, teachers. That's fine, and smile. For any words that you don't know, meanwhile, you can always type how to pronounce the word into the Google search. You will find word meaning, and you will also see a button for you to hear the pronunciation. So that's one way all of you can figure out the correct pronunciation for individual words.
Okay, I have shared the slide. I have shared the slides. Everybody should have it right now, right? I just put in the slides, cardinal sins of PSLE. So take a look at that. If you do not know, let us know. Our team will attach it again. So let me quickly go through again. So this was what we covered just now. What to do from now till D-Day. D-Day is Wednesday. Some of you have it on Wednesday. Some of you have it on Thursday. So readaloud.sg, listen to the 40 curated recordings and learn good reading habits on pace. So this is completely free. So make sure you use it. So know what good reading is, okay? So again, we gave you the code PSLE 2025. Once you unlock it, you get free access to all 40 reading passages, step 1. And this was developed using our AI tool. It's very specific. Our team developed it, but because there's a licensing fee on the use of the technology, there's a cost to it, but we try to minimize it for everybody, and you're going to pay just $10 if you want to use it. Okay. So oral at mytreasure.com, practice on applying, and they give you an evaluation, right? Focus on the feedback and key issues are facing reading too fast, mispronouncing words. So far, I think it's a pretty good tool. That's what we're doing. So learn and recap on good reading techniques. Read the passage on your own first. Listen to the professional recording. This is how we use, if you want to use these tools, right? So read the passage on your own first so that you get a sense of how to read it. Then listen to the professional recordings and study the annotations. What do we mean by the annotations? Okay, I want to show you the annotations. Here, just now for read aloud, right? Where are the annotations? Let's take a look at the annotations again. These are the annotations, you realize? Can everybody see this? Mr. Sham, can you see my screen? Can, you realize?
Yes.
These are the annotations.
In fact, if all of you look closer, are you able to zoom in? You do see patches of pink, green, and blue?
Yeah.
If you look very carefully, can you see?
Different colors,
I'm
right?
writing this on the first day of primary 6. It's in green.
Yeah. Dear future me.
And it says reflection, warm. I'm writing this on my first day of primary 6. And here, they ask you to even look at words like usual spot near the classroom, stress on streaming. So when you read it, you don't say the morning sun is streaming in. You read it as the morning sun is streaming in, and I can hear the primary 1 students playing during the recess.
Okay.
Go to remember how tiny we once were. First, the last line of first paragraph. expression, playful, nostalgic. So again, once you read this, because some of them were asking, how do I moderate my tone? I have a deep voice. I also have a very deep voice. So you have to practice saying it properly. So for example, if you have a deep voice like I have, you don't say, remember how tiny we once were. You try to have, remember how tiny we once were, in a teasing tone. All these have to come with practice. There's no magic, no shortcut. You cannot suddenly undo your voice. I cannot undo my voice, but over years, I've learned to vary my tone so that I don't come across as flat. Okay, so all of you must do that.
Okay, so yeah, so these are all the tips again are summarized here. General tips, but more importantly, and again, these are just some ideas for you. It doesn't mean you're going to follow exactly, but these are actually very powerful tools for you to appreciate what good reading is. Everybody has their own style. As long as you're expressive, that's totally cool. It doesn't mean that you have to mimic everything they hear. They're just showing you what's possible. Am I clear? Okay, the way I read it will be different way Mrs. Sham reads it. It doesn't matter. What mentions is that all of us, we have our own 感觉. All of us has our own emotions. As long as that emotions, it depends on how you interpret it. That's cool. So the whole idea is to reinforce this. Everybody got it, huh? So I think this is very powerful, yeah? So this is how you do it. Any questions at this point? So let me go back to the slides. So this is, we're just demonstrating. Listen to the professional recordings, right? And read along with the speaker. I think reading along is always a great way. Even though you think that this is like kindergarten stuff, no. You read along to get a sense, okay? If you can. And mimic the expressions and techniques. Obviously, you cannot see the facial expressions, but vocal expressions and techniques. Finally, practice without audio to get ready for the actual exam. Everything for me is about getting a sense. Now, reading for me is a skill. It's a skill. People think that reading is easy. Yeah, reading is easy, but reading with expression is a skill. Reading with eye contact is a totally different skill, which is not required for your PSLE or for any other school exams all the way to university, unless you're taking a public speaking exam, unless you're taking a reading exam like the Lambda or whatever, then yes, you need to read. And trust me, their reading got grades 1 to grade 8. Grade 6 to grade 8, you actually have bonus entries for university, but that's another different level altogether, which we do have master speakers, not here. Okay, cool? So this is exactly what you need to do. So learn and recap a good technique. This is just a template. Apply and practice what you have learned. Yes. So choose from one of the reading passage to practice on oral at mystructure.com. Focus on the favorite product if you want to subscribe to the tool. If not, just use the readaloud.sg. I think it's a very powerful tool on all these things. Anybody wants to ask, as I mentioned this, we are introducing the tools. We are not going to cover everything because it's possible and there are too many students. But I hope that after tonight's session, everybody have a good idea. Everybody please go in to readaloud.sg and start using them. If you want to have assessment, then you go to oral.mystructure.com if you want. It's just $10. If it's not, it really doesn't matter. Okay? So everybody, but I thought it's good chance for you to learn and to evaluate as well. That's why we focus. It took us some time to develop it because we are educators. We are not coming from the angle of what works because we teach the lessons. So we try to apply what we have seen for thousands of students over the years and put it here. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? Going forward, we are going to have many of these free seminars, whether it's for MyStretcher, non-MyStretcher, whether it's the English, Maths, 3 subjects, 2 subjects, 1 subject. We're going to help you in this last phase of your PSLE journey. And for those of you whose parents, whose kids are not in the PSLE, no problem. All these things will give you the head start as well. So please join. Okay, the next one which is coming out other than PSLE will probably be the GEP prep lab selection. Okay, mock test, whatever. So please join our Telegram groups. I want to show you some things, right? So we have launched specific subject Telegram communities for all primary school students. These groups are designed to complement classroom learning or complement. So tonight what you have here is designed to complement what we have in our MyStretcher classes or our master speakers classes, but it is additional value. Okay, so that's why we decide that we should help as many students as possible, regardless of where you are from. So additional offering extra resources to support your child's journey in English, Chinese, mathematics, and science. I apologize, we only have Chinese. We are not experts in Tamil. We are not experts in Hindi. We are not experts in Malay, so we don't have that. So Chinese is the majority of us, so we have that. Science no matter the level. So what you can expect, free resources, summary notes, exam style questions, study tips, content tailored to specifically like today. Today we're giving you, have already gotten quite a few, right? Invitations to free workshop seminars, a strong foundation of PSLE. So please join the Telegram groups to get all the latest information because we're pumping the information there. And please feel free to invite your friends, your grandfather, grandmother to help you accompany a journey. If you want, please feel free. There is no cost to this whatsoever because the more you all know, the better it is for everybody. Yeah, I think this is this is the step we should going to do going forward. Okay, so next this journey. This is only for the primary school. Obviously, we're going to have this. Obviously, we have the secondary one school, but this is the primary school audience, I assume. But if you are kids who are secondary school, yes, you will see all this as well. Okay, cool. Any questions at this point? Any questions at this point? Okay, we're going to end this session at 9. Normally we overshoot, but I thought that this is now an exam period, more important for us to introduce you to the techniques and the tools so they can learn all this in your examination revision time. So we are not going to hold you back very late. But just one point I want to share. Okay, first of all, I want to share just a couple of things. This is what I always tell students. I know you're having for those students who have PSLE exam, if you're really interested, this is what I suggest you do, okay? Hold on. After your PSLE oral, just spend 5 minutes. What do I mean by that? You know, we are having this National Youth Orator Championship is supported by the Speak Good English Movement SG60 Trinity College in London. So it was featured. Just for instance, the Polytechnic is sending 20. One Polytechnic is already sending 20. So there are a few categories. Yeah, I'm going to show you briefly and I'm going to show you don't need to prepare. If you want, you just make use of the resources which I'm going to share you. You record your speech, 5 minutes, you just send it because the semi-finals will be after your PSLE. Okay, so I want to briefly go through this in case I think it's good. It's good for practice because after your PSLE, you got nothing to do, but just sending your entry. After your PSLE oral, use the resources which I'm going to share with you, record the speech, send it in. You may be one of the 20 semi-finalists. So I want to briefly go through this, okay? I want to briefly go through this. It's in your slides anyway. So this is quite a number of people are participating in National Youth Orator Championships, Singapore SG edition, renditional. You can watch these videos in a time very short, whatever it is. But for you all, this is what I'm trying to say. There will be 20 semi-finalists and 10 finalists. And this will perform live. Yeah, I think it's always good to perform live. For PSLE, not so critical, but I would suggest if you're really free, just spend 5 minutes to do this. Okay, upper primary 4 to 6. Look, these are your themes. And the theme is not sure, it's just a very short speech. The shoulders on which we stand, choose one. A moment that made me feel proud to be Singaporean. My dream for Singapore in 2025. Steady, can you give them this link? Can you give that? Anyway, it's in our slides. But I want to attach right now, I want to attach the samples for you so that you can you don't need spend time preparing because we already have some. Just use that to prepare for your prelims. After, if you qualify for the semi-finals, then you prepare your own, okay? But I think this is great. So I'm going to share some documents with you now for this contest, okay? So that you can just use this, just choose one, record for 5 minutes, just send. Clear? Only if you want, not compulsory, but I thought it's a good way for you to practice, especially after your PSLE. Who knows, you may be in the semi-finals. I think it's a great platform to learn. Okay, so let me attach the samples for you. Give me a while. Okay, I am going to attach, I don't know your level because I understand that there may be other students of different levels here. So for the purposes, I'm going to attach a few levels. Okay, I'm going to attach a few levels. You just choose, okay, first of all, I'm going to attach number 1. Let me first for, this is for P1 and P2 in case you have kids in P1 and P2, number 1, okay? Next one, for kids in P3 and P4. Budding speakers, NYOC National Youth Oratory Olympics. Number 2, and for 3, for most of you, P5 and P6. If you want this, just use one of them. P5 and P6, junior speaker. Okay, and for those who have, for those parents or your brothers or sisters who are in university or secondary, they will be aspiring speakers, Sec 1 and Sec 2. And lastly, for Sec 3, Sec 4, Polytechnic students, university students, all there, okay? So that's it. If you want, I would strongly recommend just spend 5 minutes, don't waste too much time. Okay, don't waste, prepare for your oral. After your exam oral, you want a little rest instead of playing on Roblox, instead of playing your computer games, do this. It's good for you. Okay, I give you some samples already. Everybody got it? Got it, huh? Then send your entry because the semi-finals will only take place after your PSLE. Take a look at the dates, right? The semi-finals will only take place after your PSLE in November, so more than ample time. But deadline for submission 31st, so I would suggest just put in some of your videos. That's it. Use one of our scripts. Take the video. Okay, I just want to show you in case you do not know how it looks like before I forget. So let's talk about P5 and P6. So how do you use it? Hold on, so that you see exactly what I have sent you. Okay, how I have sent you, let me see, reading aloud so that you understand what I have just done. NYOC junior speakers. Okay, everybody can see. Mr. Sham, can you see my screen here right now? Can you see my screen?
Screen, how to join?
No,
You're still on the NYOC 2025.
do you see my screen now?
I don't think you're sharing the correct screen.
Okay. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Now you see? Now you see? Okay, so very quickly, right? So what I'm trying to say is that we gave you, the themes are there, just choose one of these speeches. Just choose one of these speeches, record it. That's it. Okay, there are a couple of speeches here. Okay, because the speeches are very short, because the theme is we concentrate more on speaking. So just choose one of the speeches here and speak. That's all. Okay, so you have the shoulders on which you strand, the short speech. As you can see, the pictures are pretty short because the timeline is short. So it's more on delivery. So just record that, send after your PSLE oral. Then who knows, it may be a chance for the semi-finals, which I think is a great speaking experience. Okay, so that's all I want to share. That's all. So everything is ready for you. You just need to use it. Okay, so that's it. Any questions? Any questions for all students regarding your PSLE reading? Or since we know, so let's talk about right now. Let's try another one since we got maybe around 7 more minutes. We'll just try another one, okay? We just try now. When we talk about SBC, we'll be covering it. The other teachers will be covering this coming Monday. So please make sure you sign up for the SBC and reading. There will be some more materials coming up on Monday. And for Chinese on the same day itself, this coming Monday. So please do sign up for those. And to join our Telegram groups, make sure that, okay, let's try another reading passage. Let's get another student to share. Okay, maybe we use the tool. We use the tool and we get another student to share. Okay, I'll use my account. We'll get the student. So this student will now be evaluated based on the tool. Okay, fine. So I'm going to choose one and this student will now be assessed by the tool. So I'm going to give a live demonstration of the tool. So Mr. Sham, which topic do you think we should choose? Overcoming my fear of heights.
Ken.
Okay. So who's the lucky student who we assess by the tool? Very popular, everybody wants. Sure, we will just choose. Sweetie, you just choose at random. But as I mentioned, you can all use this tool by just subscribing. Yes. Yes, there's no need for the primary 4 students to come up with the write-out speech contestants. I gave you the topic. One of the parents asked. Yes. Sweetie, can you just choose one student?
Can I read, please?
Sorry? I'm just going to...
Gaius is unmuted.
Gaius, Gaius. Okay, Gaius, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Gaius and I'm from Bukit View Primary School.
Thank you. Gaius, are you in primary 6?
Yeah, I'm in primary 6.
Okay, good. What did you get for your prelim recently?
I got 28 out of 40.
Okay, 28 out of 40, so we got room for improvement, right? Okay, tell
Yes.
me why did you get 28? Can you give me the breakdown?
For my reading aloud, I'm not really sure because the person who did the exam on me, they forgot to do the feedback form, but for SBC, it's because I got nervous. Then after that, I forgot what I wanted to say.
Okay, don't worry. So I repeat everybody, anxiety comes from not doing it often. Do you understand? So that's
Yeah.
why anxiety. So make sure that exam packs which I gave you, make sure you read through them, okay? Read through
Okay.
them. So the more you just need to get some idea. So don't worry, exam, the most important thing for SBC as you learn on Monday is just to treat it like a conversation. What do you like to eat, guys? I like to eat chicken rice. So you go, I like to eat chicken rice because it's an absolutely delicious dish.
Yeah.
I first got to eat chicken rice when I was 5 years old, when I went to my grandmother's house and she cooked it for Chinese New Year. That was my first time I tasted such delicious. So we go on, just a conversation. So don't worry, we talk about this on Monday. But make sure you talk about okay. Now, Gayas, look, I'm going to start recording. So this is the thing. You are sharing a personal story about conquering your fear of heights during a public speaking contest. I'm going to record. Because it's on my account, I will be paying around 70 US cents for your assessment, okay? But it's fine. Okay,
Wait, can you repeat? May you repeat that again?
Which one?
Yeah. Can you repeat what you're gonna say again?
Okay, what I just said was that this is on my account. So your assessment, I will have to pay the service provider for this tool, for this guy, 70
Yeah.
US cents. It's good, no problem. But I want everybody to listen. Then we look at assessment. You take 2 minutes to process. Okay, let's start. 1, 2, 3. Can you see my screen?
No.
You're
You
not
haven't shared
sharing.
screen.
You're not sharing.
Can you see? Okay, let us, this will be, because nothing went there, it will be deleted. Okay, let's try again. Let's try again. Now, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can Okay, let's try another one. Everybody take a look. Speaking from the heart, 感觉. Okay, fine. Gaius, can you see this now? Gaius? Gaius, can you see this now? No, silence. Sherry, did we drop Gaius? Then we get another student.
Yeah, I think he's dropped.
Okay, can we get another student? Just choose one. Xavier, okay, Xavier. Xavier, please introduce yourself.
Hello.
Hello, Xavier. Where are you from?
I'm from Nanqiao Primary School.
Nanqiao, great. So are you primary 6?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you get for your recent prelims?
36 out of 40.
Okay, your reading?
Full mark.
Full mark, that's great. So let's hear you get full marks right now. So don't worry, this is, I repeat, this tool is a little bit unique because it's not just for PSLE. It's also tell you what to do as a general good speaker, but the PSLE rubrics are there. Okay, cool. So let's try. One. So remember, once I start recording, now you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have been tasked by the school principal to read your award-winning essay about your journey to becoming a good speaker to the school assembly. So the start record now. Once you see 3, 2, 1, you start. 1, 2, 3.
You've got this, my teacher whispered, her voice steady as she pressed the competition form into my hand. I wanted to believe her, but my palms were already slick with sweat. The idea of standing on stage, under the blinding glare of the spotlight, made my stomach churn. Yet something in her unwavering smile nudged me forward. I chose the power of words as my topic, a concept I admired but feared I couldn't deliver. My journey began with awkward practice sessions in front of my bedroom mirror, where my reflection seemed unimpressed. My words stumbled out like pebbles on a rocky path. Determined to improve, I recorded myself. grimacing at every quiver in my voice, every awkward pause. Each playback became a lesson, shaping my delivery bit by bit. The day of the competition arrived faster than I expected. The auditorium was a sea of unexpected faces. My heart thumped loudly as I chanted the microphone. Its metallic coolness grounded me. When I spoke the first line, the room seemed to hold its breath. My words poured out like a careful woven tapestry, painting vivid pictures of courage, resilience, and the power of expression. When I finished, the applause was deafening. I didn't just hear it, I felt it, like a wave washing over me. In that moment, I realized becoming a good speaker wasn't about perfection. It was about speaking from the heart and believing in your voice. And that's the power I'll carry with me forever.
Okay, thank you very much. Right now, I'll end the recording. You take around 1 to 2 minutes to evaluate, okay? So wait for the tool to evaluate. In the meantime, Sweetie, can you give them the PSLE code again, the discount code for reading aloud and oral reading? Because I find some students still asking the question. And for those, we wait for data. And for those who are asking about the speaking contest, this is the link, NYOC, okay, nyoc.sg, and I've given you all the various attachments, right? So please to take part, and they're also found in your slides, okay? So please take part if you want to. Now let's wait for now. Let's ask what's the name of the girl who just spoke from Nanqiao? What's the name again?
Sure, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy.
Oh, sorry lah, sorry. You see, I'm getting really old. That's what happens when you become old. Sorry, I didn't get your name correctly. So you're a boy. Thank you for reminding me of that. What's your name again?
Xavier.
Xavier, yes, Xavier is definitely a boy. So this is what happens when you become
I'm
old.
not trans.
Sorry?
I'm not trans.
Trans? Sorry, this is a Gen Z language. It's too complicated for my simple brain. Okay, but thank you very much, Xavier. So let's see whether your assessment is out, okay? Let's see whether your assessment is out. Xavier, assessment history. Speaking from the heart, it is still doing it. Still doing. Just now you realize, overcoming my fear of heights, it didn't go through, so nothing got processed. So right now it's still, so give us some time. Give us some time. Let's see. So I repeat, this tool is not an exact science, but it is, okay. Another word, DETERMINE is determined, not determined. I'm determined to succeed, okay? Just a word. How many marks would you give yourself, Xavier? How many marks would all the other students give Xavier? Just a matter of impression. Wait, some of you give 6 out of 15. Be reasonable. 6 out of 15, we're all in trouble.
I'm very bad.
Cannot be so bad as in 6 out of 15. 6 out of 15, you fail, you know.
I think his pacing was excellent.
Right. What else?
Yeah. He tried to be careful, but I think maybe the font is a little bit slow.
Yeah,
So
totally
he
understand.
placed some words. Yeah. So we got
Totally
to give a little bit of discount. That's
Yes. So what would be a fair score given what he did, Mr. Sham? What, in your opinion?
at least probably an 11.
Okay, I think it's fair. I think we need to be strict here. So Xavier, I'm going to give you a 12. Okay, I thought you did pretty well, but it could be more expressive. That's how I see it. It could be more expressive. And did you read accurately? I think there were 1 or 2 errors. We're not going to go. It's all about getting the sense. Okay, so I want you. I want to remind everybody. Reading is actually a matter of confidence. Once you achieve a certain amount of confidence, I will tell you, no matter what is given to you, right on the spot, you're able to read fluently and accurately. But this is a confidence which we need to develop over time. You don't need this for PSLE. I'm just telling you what is possible. Yeah. So I repeat, why do people not get full marks of reading? Because they're reading for the first time. So reading, you will get into the mood. Just like, for instance, when you dance, you want to get into the mood, right? You get into the mood. Okay, if you're not in the mood, you're doing it for the first time, you feel very awkward. So that is why we provide you with this tool so that you get into the mood. So make sure you use the read aloud tool. Okay, so I'm being straight here. I'm giving you a 12, but I think you can definitely get at least 14 if you get into the mood. Show a little bit more expression and minimize that 1 or 2 errors. Okay, cool. Let me see whether it's still there. Once we are done for this, we are done. Let's hear whether it is processed. It's still being processed. Assessment in progress. Please wait. I think they're having a hard time assessing you because yours is so fixed already. No, just joking. Remember, they're reading line by line. They're listening to you line by line, word by word. Okay. Can we see the Cardinal slide again? Sure. And you should have the soft copy. I repeat, everybody should have the soft copy for this. Sweetie, Mr. Sham, can you see my slides?
No, you're still on Reading Aloud.
Okay, everybody should share my slides. I'm going to attach this again for everybody. So just in case you do not have it, please, I'm going to attach both in Word.
I have posted, Alvin.
Posted. Okay, fine. So everybody should have that.
Some of them are not using the laptop. Yeah, so they might have
actually,
problems downloading.
Okay, don't worry
Okay.
about downloading. What we'll do is that we will still share it in Luma, the platform that you actually joined this webinar.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll share it over there.
Thanks.
Thank you. So everybody take note of what our events manager Sweetie just said. We'll share on Luma. So the platform on which you're watching this, please log in there, get all the documents, and please join our telegrams. Okay. So Xavier 76. I repeat, this is it is a tool which you assess on, but this is more than a PSLE level. Do you understand? Your PSLE rubric is there, but it's actually a tool for you to become a really expressive speaker. So the marking is a little bit more strict, so don't worry about that. 76. Let's listen. Let's listen to your overall assessment. Nice job. Overall 76, fluency 86, expressions 96, pronunciation 70. Select section. Hear what's possible. Okay. Nice job. Let's take a look, listeners. You experimental, your estimated mark 10 out of 12. I think it's pretty close to what I just said. Pretty close to what Mr. Sham had just said. Okay. Your reading demonstrated a strong sense of expressiveness and flourishing in parts, particularly when describing the story's emotions. You manage to maintain appropriate pauses and deliver text with a steady pace while making it easy to follow. Right? However, there are areas for growth, especially in pronunciation and expressiveness. Just like what we said, some phoneme issues like RD, affected clarity, and so forth could enhance emotional impact. Everything we say, you need the 感觉, the emotions. Okay, so let's go back to report. Now the fluency. Let's see some examples. Pronunciation. 70. You make significant efforts pronunciation, although challenges remain certain words. The R in whispered. The D in wanted. Consistent practice of these sounds, we need to get used to it. Key patterns there are sounds. Just for example, you. Xavier, hello,
Whisper. A voice steady and whisper. A voice steady and
Whispered.
Clear? So you see, it's quite effective because they listen to you word by word. Listen, easy word.
whisper. A voice steady and
Her voice.
Her.
under the blinding glare of the spotlight.
Glare.
Okay, they just want to make you articulate better. Clear?
I admire but feared I couldn't deliver.
Feared.
Got it? So they're teaching you what is best practice. Okay, so if you can just correct some of these, I think your reading will be really fabulous. So this is what the assessment tool does. And as I mentioned, right now it's just $10 because we have given you the discount code. If you really want, you can use it. If not, just use the Read Aloud tool. Just get to the sense of the good and good. Okay, cool. Got it? Anybody has any questions right now? It's 9:10. So I think we end for tonight. And thank you for joining us. If you have any more questions, please do join us this coming Monday morning again, where we're going to have, and as I mentioned, we're going to have a series of these to ramp up PSLE, whether it's science, whether it's mathematics, all these last minute. Please make sure you attend because I think it will be very instructive. Just like tonight's lesson, I'm sure you all find it instructive. And I'd like to thank all the parents and thank all the students who made it a point to join us tonight. I think that's really appreciate the effort. And because we appreciate it, that's why we're giving you all these freebies. Anybody who come, we're giving you all this, which I think is great. But if you don't come, that's fine as well. But we are trying to value add. So please do come for all these things when you get, because they don't cost you a single cent. Okay? So I'd like to thank everybody here tonight, Mr. Sham for joining, for being a co-instructor, and all the students, all the parents, and all our team for making this possible tonight. Wow, this looks like Oscar acceptance speech. I need to get out of this mode. I'm now into the flow. Okay, cool. So thank you very much. We'll see you again this coming Monday. Please do join our Telegram group. Sweetie, can you put out all the Telegram channels for them again to join? Make sure you join them so that you are updated to all these things, because everything will be there. Whatever documents, whatever things we share, everything will be there. So please make sure you go in and do that. Okay? Can? Okay. Okay, Ken. So that's it. We'll see you again. Thank you very much. And thank you all students, and thank you all parents. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.